you guys, this is part 2 of the conference where I was talking about skin color, hair texture, even as it pertains to what is exalted in this world, what is debased in this world, according to the world, that is spewed out, I'm thinking puked out by this lying matrix that is around us. Because I'm tired of hearing it. I mean, it's been going on for years and years, and it takes the power of God and the word of God to bring down demonic tongues, demonic lies, and demonic opinions. Well, I'm not going to say demonic opinions because everybody has a right to have one, but it doesn't make it the fact. Am I right about it? So let me tell you guys something. The way that you rise above other people's opinions about you is that I'm hearing you know you. Oh my gosh, that's what you know you. You know you, right? That's how you rise above it. You know you. So when they say something, if it's a lie, it should automatically bring some sort of alert within you. Alert, alert, alert. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. You will self-destruct. You will self-destruct if you accept it. Alert, alert, alert. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. You will self-destruct if you accept it. Alert, alert, alert. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. You will self-destruct if you accept it. You know how when they're about to blow up a building and the computer keeps saying, alert, alert, alert. And then there's this computer voice like Siri or something like that, talking about how the building's going to self-destruct and blow up and all of that. That's, you know what, let me tell you. In the mind of your spirit, when somebody speaks a lie on you or about you or try to insult you or put you down or tell you you're not this or you're not that, alert, alert, alert. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. You will self-destruct if you receive it. You better hear that little computerized woman talking in the background. Not Siri, but it sometimes they have them in movies and stuff like that. I saw it in that one of my favorite TV shows is well, actually my favorite TV show is The Walking Dead, and I was watching it a little while ago, not today, but it was a scene where I think that Rick and his crew had ended up at the CDC or something like that, Center for Disease Control laboratory, and the man, the scientist, the building was going to self-destruct or something like that, and Rick and them were trying to get up out of there, and Shane was freaking out and all on the floor and everything. I mean, I think they hit him and knocked him on the floor or something. I tell you, that was my show. I mean, oh my gosh, I really thought a lot of all the characters, the main characters, and but anyway, I think that the computer started talking about something about, I don't know, they said the building was going to blow up or something. I mean, I don't know if they said it like that, but y'all, anybody who's a Walking Dead fan, you know what I'm talking about. So when people get to, trying to put you down and tell you you don't look this way and you should look this way and you too dark, you too light, your nose too wide, your nose too thin, your lips too big, your lips too thin, you too skinny, you too fat, you too tall, you too short, no, we want you to look this way, no, take that off, put this on. Listen, alert, alert, alert. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. If you receive it, you will self-destruct. You understand what I'm saying? You got to resist the devil and he will flee from you. And then also not allow what the television set and the internet and society and all of that feeds to you on a subconscious level to affect the way that you all feel about yourself, and then you subconsciously start thinking these thoughts, well, I need to look like that, and I need to look like this, and you know what, because you don't need to be anybody but yourselves. You don't need to be anybody but yourselves. And let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with admiring things in other people, or looking at people and say, oh, she's so pretty, or oh, he's so handsome, or this and the third. If you like their hairstyle, why don't you rock it? Anybody can wear a hairstyle. If you like what they got on, go see if you can find it or something similar to it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking about women getting beauty tips off of other women, or maybe it's a dude like that. He's like, yo, man, I like that fade you got, man. Who your barber? Whatever. I'm not talking about nothing like that. Okay? But I'm just saying that you don't need to be the carbon copy of anybody because you are an original. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't dress like somebody or that people don't influence the way you dress, because I mean, I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said that there weren't people that didn't influence the way I dress. Of course, there were people that influenced my style of dress, which now I'm more into what I like to wear. But I'm still very influenced by the people I watch coming up and how they dress, and I like the way that they dress, and I like the way they presented themselves to the public, and you know, and whatever. So we're all influenced by somebody. But what I'm saying is, you don't put yourself down to exalt somebody else. Oh, just because they are of a lighter complexion, or they got curly hair, or you might have short hair, they might have long hair, or whatever. What does the length of hair have to do with the beauty of the structure of the face? I want to know. There are some sisters on this planet that are so bad, they can rock short hair or long hair and still look good and make it rock for them. You understand what I'm saying? They can still rock it. Short hair or long hair. You understand what I'm saying? So, no. It's all about what you want to do and liking you and loving you, and not allowing somebody else to impose their opinions and how they feel about something onto you. And I just feel like that, you know, life should be about you all being an original and knowing who you are. And I know a lot of times, especially if people are in the public eye, I got to go this way, they will kind of, I don't want to say trademark things, but it could be certain hairstyles, a certain brand of clothing that people will rock, and or a certain way they wear their makeup or whatever, and it seems like they are making it their brand. So like, okay, I wear my hair like this, nobody else can wear their hair like this. Okay? You can't wear it like this, you can't do it this way and do it that way. I wear these clothes, nobody else can wear these clothes. I rock this is my style. Okay, it's your style. But if somebody else like clothes that somebody else designed, like you did, they can wear it if they want to. So I guess it goes back to who wore it better. And then another thing, even as far as the hairstyles, well, if people don't copy each other's hairstyles, it won't be no hairstyles. It wouldn't be no hairstyles. Because everybody almost is rocking something that somebody else rocking, if not in their city, on the other side of the world somewhere probably. And I don't call people's names in my videos out of respect. You know, I'm not going to say nothing negative about nobody. So this is a channel of being positive. And if I do speak on negative things, it's only to bring the positive out of it. But I will say that, yes, there are certain people that are in the public eye. And some of everybody copied their hairstyle. I mean, some of everybody. But then want to put the people down. And I'm not going to go no further with it than that. But I will say this. I'm here to give credit where credit is due. That's what I just heard in my mind. But I will just say this. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. I'm just saying it just goes to show that everybody gets a little bit of somebody. It's not that you're trying to be them, you know, or whatever, or look like them all the way or nothing like that. It's just that you like that style. So nobody can just take something and say, oh, this is mine. Yeah, you can make it your brand, but you must understand that you didn't create it. And even if you did, somebody else can copy and carry, and might carry it a little better than you. So that's only for some people out there that are arrogant, egotistical, and think it's all about them, and think that they're the only ones that can rock a certain style, a certain look, or whatever. It all boils down to opinion, even as a matter of complexion. Oh, you got to be light-skinned to rock that style and look good with it. No, you don't. No, you don't. The devil is a liar. Satan might be running around in the spirit realm with a wig on his head and some lashes, talking about can't nobody rock it like him. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying I know that he's the spirit behind. I'm sorry y'all have to laugh at that. I know he ticked off I don't care good, because he done made enough fun of everybody else. It's about time somebody made fun of him. But you know what? Let me tell you. I lost my train of thought going that way. But you know what? Rock it the way that you want to rock it. And don't feel like you have to be a certain complexion to rock it. But for you ladies out there, if I look at it this way. If you want to lighten your skin, that's your business. If you want to darken your skin, that's your business. I just feel like that people should know that beauty comes in all complexions, and that just because there's a certain image that people have dancing before you, or put a place before you rather. I don't know why I said that like that. I said it without thinking. That doesn't mean that that is the epitome of beauty and that every woman on earth should want to look like that particular person or those particular persons. Beauty comes in many flavors, many different shades, many different colors, many different hair touches. You have to rock the beauty that rocks with you. You were not created to be a carbon copy of anybody else. Well, everybody wear their hair like that, so now, no, that don't mean you got to if you don't want to. If everybody wear their hair like that, whatever that is, but you decide, you know what, I want one little braid on top and the rest of my head bald. Honey, you better rock that little one braid going around that dome. I mean, and I'm just using that as an example. I hope ain't nobody got their hair like that, because I'm definitely, I don't know you and I ain't making fun of you. But I'm just saying, I don't know why that came in my mind like that, but it just did, because I think that's a hairstyle. I don't know nobody would want that hairstyle, but I mean, just one little braid on top and the rest of your hair, you ain't got no hair. I'm not telling nobody to rock nothing like that, because I would never walk around looking like that. Now, I have cut all my hair off before and just went short because, you know, I wanted to do it. And I'll do it again if I want to. You know, but anyway, I'm not talking about me. But I just wanted to just send a word of encouragement to somebody out there who you might be feeling a certain kind of way. Especially you young girls out there. You know, because when you're young, you're trying to find your identity and what's your look and what's your style and what you're going to rock and this, that, and the third. So you copy girls that are older than you. So you copy their hairstyles and the way that they dress. I guess girls do that now. They did it back in the day, some of them. A lot of them did, I think. You know, I don't know really how folk do stuff nowadays. I don't really deal with folks, but I know back in the days it was like people would look at what famous people had on, and especially singers and entertainers and stuff, you know, and they would rock it, or they see what the latest hairstyles were from actresses or whatever. They go, oh, I want my hair like that, and this and the third. And see, the thing about people who get offended by people who, when they look around, somebody's rocking your look, when you are famous and you have a lot of popularity and people admire you, they're going to copy things that you do and say and wear and look like. And if you are offended by that, then I will honestly say that for a person like that, that's somebody that does not need to be celebrated. Because we live in a world that people need to realize that there are certain people, when you step in certain shoes, there are people that are going to celebrate you. And they're going to copy you, a lot of them, not because they're trying to take something from you, but because they admire you. And for somebody of a decent heart, they would appreciate that. But for somebody who don't know what being a true so-called superstar is, they'll get offended. Oh, you trying to rock my style. You trying to take my look. But see, everybody is not superstar quality. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people fail to realize, is that I know there are many people out there that are superstar quality. And I know of one in particular that is definitely the superstar quality. Because when you are superstar quality, when you see somebody rocking your look, you know, okay, well, that's a fan. That's a supporter. You don't sit there and go, I know she ain't trying to look like me. I know she ain't trying to wear her hair like mine. Now, she ain't rocking it like me. She too dark to be trying to look like me. She too light to be trying to look like me. Or whatever. Or for the fellas, I don't know if fellas are like that or not, but they might say, oh, he trying to rock my style. He trying to get my hair cut, my dreads, my... No. See, that's somebody that's not superstar quality. They don't qualify. They ain't the quality that makes a superstar. What we consider a superstar, which really everybody is the same in God's eyes, and everybody really is the same, but we just give people titles when they're in the limelight. But what in this matrix we call superstars, superstar quality are people who see other people that copy them, want to be like them, want to look like them. Well, first of all, if they want to look like you, that's a compliment too. Because they're saying, oh, well, I wish I looked like you. I wish I had your good looks. I wish I did, if they feel you have good looks or whatever. It's a compliment to a superstar. It's a compliment to a superstar. But to somebody that's not superstar quality, they'll get offended. She's trying to rock my look. He trying to rock my style. Somebody like that, you might be famous, but you are not superstar material. Period. Now, put it on period. I'm not talking about nobody out there specifically, but I'm just saying, if folk can take it how it resonate, I don't care. So my point is this. Everything around you all influences you in some way. The people that are placed before you all, how they look, how they dress, the color of their skin, the texture of their hair, the length of their hair, whether they get weaves, the lace front wigs and all of that. And then that's one more thing. Let me touch on this lace front wig stuff. First of all, my sisters out there, hey, I'll just say, wear what you want to wear as long as it's fine with God. But take care of your natural hair. Because, honey, let me tell you, a lot of this stuff that they give people to put on their scalp will take your hair out, and that's it. That's it, folks. That's like that Bugs Bunny, how Bugs Bunny said on Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers, whatever. I ain't gonna ever tell you, but he said, that's it. Y'all remember that cartoon? That's it. You mess your God-given natural hair. That's it. Trying to rock a look that you can rock, you have to rock it some other way, honey. You have to rock it some other way. Because if it's taking out your stuff that you were born with, or at least came after you got here, I'm just saying. You better keep your own long as you can. Take care of it and condition it. At least under all the lace fronts and stuff like that. Because once you lose what God Almighty gave you, I'm here to tell you. Because it ain't nothing like what God gave you. I don't care if it's long, short, kinky, straight, bob, wire, corn, silk, whatever. There's nothing like what God Almighty gave you, because God gave you the best. He gave you what came from the mind of His imagination. And then another thing I want to say, it's been on the tip of my tongue, and I gotta say it. Let me tell you something. For these industries, and I know you ain't gonna like what I say, and I don't care, but what is going on with these hair relaxers? I want to know, because see, folks think they slick. But anybody from the old school will be able to tell you, these hair relaxers out here on these shelves, especially these box perms, they do not relax hair the way they did back in the day. For those of you that are familiar with the 80s bunch, your parents would pay for you to go get your hair done every 2 weeks, or you would pay for yourselves if you had your job to get your hair done every 2 weeks. I know when I was a teenager, I always got my hair professionally done if I didn't do it myself, and I do know how to do hair. But I would go. I had my own job. I would make my hair appointment and go to the hairdresser. The hairdresser did my hair, and I got my hair. I was rocking it. But I'm gonna tell you something. Hair relaxers do not relax like they used to. Back in the day, when you put a hair relaxer in, your hair was straight. It was straight, and the color of your hair didn't really change unless you got in the sun, and then your hair would lighten up. But back in the day, I remember how good a lot of the girls, especially the girls of ethnic background, how good their hair looked. And then they had a hairstyle called the shag. So what they call, well, people still go under the term black, so I'll just say what they say the black girls wore a hairstyle called the shag. And that's when you had your hair cut in layers on the top, and then the back would hang down long. And then they had the little flip do, like Miss Sheila E. used to wear her hair. And a lot of girls, they rocked that style too. And then they had the style back in the day. Y'all remember them hairstyles? Remember the rat tail and how the girls used to get their hair layered? So your hair would probably be about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches, or 3.5 inches, and they would cut your hair and they would style it in layers all the way back. See, that's that 80s thing right there. It was nothing like the 80s. Anybody that missed out on the 80s, you missed out. You missed out on a decade right there. But hair relaxers back then, those girls' hair was straight. If you look at some of the old ads in the magazines, I remember I grew up on Jet magazine, Jet and Ebony, and I would look at the ads in the magazine, and they had this one particular ad. It was a Sprite. I'll go and say, I normally don't like to call no company names, but I'll just say it. It was an ad for the soft drink called Sprite, and then there used to be a saying, they said, I like the Sprite in you or something like that. And I remember the ad because I remember the black girl had her hair fixed, and she had on, I think she had on a yellow sweater, some blue jeans, and it was a black dude in the ad with her, and he was dressed very neat too. They looked kind of preppy like. And I remember her, I can't remember the style of her hair, but it was back when black girls used to get the perms, and their hair looked very neat. You know, they just had a neat appearance because of the time they were brought up, this upbringing for a lot of them. And for a lot of them, I'm not saying necessarily her or him, but I'm just saying for that particular ad, I used to just look at that ad a lot because I was a magazine chick. You can believe that back in the day. I loved looking through magazines, Ebony magazine and the fashion fair models, and they were very pretty, and the makeup was very beautifully laid on their faces, and their hair was nice and stuff. It's just stuff you just don't really see anymore like that. But anyway, and they always look so classy and sophisticated, you know. So I grew up with very positive images, and the models that I saw, especially the fashion fair models, they were brown-skinned, beautiful women. You know, so when you grow up seeing women that are your complexion and they're beautiful, then you don't feed into, oh, well, if you ain't a red bone, if you ain't light skinned, and if you ain't this and got curly hair. I grew up seeing those images, yes, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but it's very important that children have a daily a balance in the dose of what they're fed. You understand? They need to see the beauty in this, they need to see the beauty in that. Then that way they're not more partial to this and more defiant to that. Is that making sense? That way they don't grow up with a complex saying, well, if I don't look like this, I don't look like nothing. They don't grow up with that mentality, okay? Because everything that you take in, you're being fed. You're being educated by it in some way, shape, or form or fashion, okay? But anyway, I just had to say something about those hair relaxers because for years, women of ethnic background have been getting hair relaxers, and a lot of women strayed from the hair relaxers because it was taking their hair out. And so now they're going more towards, well, just get the lace fronts and all of that. But I just had to speak on that about those hair relaxers because even when you read the boxes now, they'll say, oh, I don't know how they word it, but they'll say, oh, with better straightening something, I think, something like that. But, and I want to know, well, you know, I want to know why they tampering with the hair relaxers. That's what I want to know. And then think people who ain't been getting hair relaxers for years don't notice that, number one, they don't straighten worth 2 cents. And another thing, they change your hair color. Your hair, and back in the day when you got hair relaxers, your hair would turn out straight and shiny. And now it's like a dullness. Now the chemical has worn off after about 3 to 4 days. It's taking people's hair out. And this junk is still on the shelf. And I call it junk. Because anytime somebody is chemically altering a product and put it on the shelf and know it's going to take somebody's hair out, what kind of mind is that? Who does that? I had to speak on that. I'm sorry, y'all. And I didn't name nobody specific, so ain't no need for nobody to be, well, let me get on my internet thing and come back at her for saying something about hair relax. I said hair relaxers. I didn't say yours. So only a hit dog will holler, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that for whoever. But I just know these hair relaxers, I mean, they don't last long no more. A relaxer, I believe a good relaxer would last almost a month back in the day. Now, good grief. You put in a hair relaxer, they got to apply so much heat to your hair to straighten your hair because the relaxer didn't do the job that you spent your hard-earned money to pay for it to do. If that ain't highway robbery, if that ain't thievery, if that ain't crookedness, if that ain't a criminal activity in itself, I don't know what is. Because people are paying for products they're not getting. They're not getting the service that they're paying for. You put a hair relaxer in, and then when you rinse it out, your hair's still kinky. What kind of bull crap is that? And people just go on, and I mean, I guess they feel like, well, they don't own the company. There's nothing they can do about it. But you can speak about it. Well, I'm speaking about it right now for whoever want to hear it. I don't care. You need to improve your product or pull it off the shelf. Now, it's something they doing to it, and I know it's something they doing to it. I even had a hairdresser tell me that there was something they were doing to it. I didn't need her to tell me. I mean, I'm not saying that in no negative way. I'm just saying I've been dealing with hair for years. Either doing my own hair or doing other people's hair. And I knew. I'm like, something's wrong with these hair relaxers. Because at first you might think it's your own hair. Like, oh, your hair is very resistant. No, your hair didn't change. They changed the chemical in the box. So now when you put the chemical in your hair, it doesn't straighten your hair. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, you almost bald headed. And even when you go to the hairdresser, a lot of times, and they say they put a perm in, your hair come out so knotty that they got to go over your hair with a hot flat iron to make it extra hot, probably to straighten what the chemical should have did. I know what I'm talking about, but anyway, I just had to vent on that because they ticked me off. You know, people not getting, people paying for product they're not getting. And I could go on and on with this, y'all, but I won't. I think I said enough. But I guess in conclusion of this conference, I just wanted to tell you sisters out there, I don't care what ethnic group you are, what your ethnic background is, embrace your own natural beauty. And I'm in no way saying yay or nay to one look or the other. All I'm saying is that don't allow yourselves to be hoodwinked and bamboozled by this matrix. And every time you look in the mirror, well, because you don't look a certain way, that's being dashed all across the television set or splattered all across the internet, that you think you're ugly or unattractive, because you're not. Everybody that looks good for their type of look. That's their look. So when you see another sister, you can say, oh, well, that's her look of beauty, but it ain't mine. This is my look of beauty, and it ain't hers. Okay, that's the divide right there. That's it. That's it right there. You have to love you. You have to embrace you. And a lot of you, you're being attacked on the internet. Well, first of all, you have to love you. You have to embrace you. It is your helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit. Is it the breastplate of righteousness? Anyway, I'm not quoting it, but you got to put on the whole armor of God. That means you got to be covered up to keep Satan's insults off of you and not be a sponge and absorb it. And see, children don't know to do that. And a lot of teenagers don't know to do that. So that's why when some people call you names, you absorb it. When people tell you you're ugly, you absorb it like a sponge. You know how they say children are sponges? But not every child is a sponge, because some children, they will come back at you. They'll be like, look, I know that's a lie. I know that's a lie. I don't care what you say about me. I know that's a lie. And see, somebody like that, that's Teflon right there. That's somebody born with the armor of God. God already says, look, I'm already going to put something on you, because I already know they're coming for you. You know, but not every child is like that. Not every child will clap back like that. Some children will absorb that, internalize it, and destroy themselves. And every time they look in the mirror, they'll think they ugly. They think they too dark. They think their hair too short. Their hair too nappy. Their hair too this, too that. And it's not all about complexions, because you know what? Let me tell you something. Even if you look at the movie, The Color Purple, and remember Celie, and I think her sister's name was either Nettie or Nellie or something like that. I think it was Nettie. Even in that movie, although they were the same complexions, her sister was still considered the pretty one. And you know, the reason why I say that is because that's what it is. And it wasn't about complexion. You understand? But I think Nettie was the one that had the long hair, and Celie was the one that had the coarse hair with the very short braids, the short plaits. So that was considered unattractive. And I got to tell you something. Back in the day, that's how what we call little black girls wore their hair. You wore a plait on one side, a plait on the other side, one on top, and maybe 4 in the back. Or maybe 2 in the back, or however they did it. But that's how it was done back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the girls that had longer hair, they wore ponytails or pigtails or whatever. But it didn't make one sister better than the other. So for you sisters out there, I got to tell you, just because people may treat you a certain way, it doesn't make you lesser than. It does not make you lesser than at all, because especially for a lot of you teenagers out there, and a lot of you that are not teenagers but you're about to become teenagers, a lot of people are just late bloomers. So you could take somebody who, you know, maybe they were that chick when they were very young in people's eyes, and now that they've gotten older, they don't look the same. And then you could take the one that everybody felt wasn't that chick back in the day, and now that they're older, it's about that chick today. You know what I'm trying to say? For somebody out there, y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like some people have to grow into whoever they're going to be. You might start off like a little bud, but then, honey, when you start to bloom, eyes are going to pop. It's going to be like, dang, when they see you, they're going to be like, dang. And it goes for you brothers too. A lot of you may be considered nerds. Or you may have been told you were too dark. I remember a famous rapper who's passed away. I believe he said that somebody in his family or somebody, I don't know, give me the line, because I don't like to quote what people say, so I won't call the person's name. Said something about that somebody told him that he was too dark. And, well, I tell you what, he was a dark somebody that almost every woman wanted. That's all I can say. My sisters, let me tell you, this particular rapper, and he's dead and gone now, and if y'all go back and look at some interviews, y'all will know who I'm talking about. I don't know nobody that would have told him no. Let's just keep it real. How do you want it? How do you... Y'all know what I'm talking about. But listen, I ain't had to go there, did I? But listen, Lord, I didn't have to go there. I'm trying to talk some religious stuff. But listen, y'all, okay, that's all I got to say. Y'all know I had to cut up a little bit in the conference. But I said that to say this, that guess what I'm hearing, y'all? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the darker the flesh, the deeper the root. My gosh, my gosh. And with that said, God bless you all until next time. Bye-bye.